By now, you've probably heard of BYD, but what you've probably not heard of yet is Yanwan, which is the company's real top end brand. And this is its electric hypercar. It's called the U9. And well, it's every bit as spectacular looking as you would expect a modern day electric hypercar to be. Probably one of the most distinctive features you will see is that you've got these light signature here all the way around, a little bit McLaren-esque in a way, but this is all part of very much the face of this car. You've got a lot of carbon fiber detailing around here. All the bodywork is made from that lightweight carbon fiber, and the whole car comes from the same design studio that's headed up by Wolfgang Eggers, who's the head of the brand, and he's done a lot of well-known cars, including things like the Alfa Romeo 155, 156, and also the Alfa Romeo 8C. So this guy knows what he's at, and the car is very striking when you see it. The overall proportions are pretty much on a par with what we see with all the latest hypercars, and performance will match this. The car will go on sale later this year here in China, and it's using the E4 platform architecture that the company has developed. That means it's got 4 motors, and it's going to be pushing out around about 1300 horsepower. So we're going to have a top speed of around 300 kilometers an hour and a 0 to 100 acceleration of just 2 seconds. So that means it's very, very powerful, very quick, and obviously very silent. A couple of interesting features that this has. Obviously, within the core of the car is a new battery technology. It's going to have around about 100 kilowatt hours inside it. And one of the interesting features is that obviously this has fast charging, but this actually has dual DC charging. So a bit like, you might remember those old classic Jags that had 2 fuel fillers on each side. Well, this is going to be the exact same. You will be able to charge this up on either side using the DC charging. So even though it's got a huge battery, this will be able to fill up pretty quickly. Now, obviously a big part of all that performance means it's got this huge back wing on the back, and it's very kind of Lamborghini-esque in a lot of ways. This kind of new wing design, it's like what we've seen on the GT3 RS. Very, very in your face. This thing just screams performance. It would not look out of place with things like your Koenigsegg's, your Pagani's, anything like that. There is actually a little bit of boot space in here as well. There's no rear window that you can see. And when you lift this up, you can see exactly what you've got inside. You've got a little bit of storage in here. You've got all this is all carbon fiber in here as well. So you can get your luggage in here, all the usual features that you would want to have in your sort of electric hypercar. There is also a little bit of a frunk as well going to be in this car, but this is as much storage as you're going to get. So you're not going to be packing a whole lot and traveling on a huge holiday, but there's definitely going to be enough for a couple of weekend bags in there. But you can see just how impressive this thing looks. The diffuser all down here on the bottom is phenomenal looking, and this is an active diffuser as well. So you can see these details right down here on the bottom. These will actually alter the aero according to the car's speed, so they will move up and down and have an impact on just how well that diffuser works. So that's a part of what it's like on the outside, but the best thing is, let's have a look inside and see what that's like as well. And once inside, just pop that button, and your doors electrically close. And inside, it is exactly what you would expect from a proper luxury high-end hypercar. Lots of nice Alcantara, suede materials all throughout the inside. Very nice detailing, actually. You've got these kind of like, this is not actually carbon fiber, but very textured surface here along this central spine here. This is a full-length portrait-style touchscreen, and this rotary controller is what will be used to select your drive modes. We can't show what's on the screens at the moment because this is still an engineering prototype, so this is not the fully finished article just yet, but it does give you a little bit of an idea of what to expect in terms of layout. So you've got a normal flat bottom steering wheel here. You've got paddles on the back to select different drive modes and things like your energy regen, things like that. You've got various rotary controllers and a couple of basic buttons here for your phones. These bits do feel a little bit like they just come out of a regular normal car. They don't really have that sort of very high-end feel that you might expect from something like a Bugatti Chiron or a Pagani or something like that. So the switchgear is very much more like a modern electric car, but not necessarily a car that's going to cost this much money. With some other buttons here for the usual touch sensitive, so doing your parking, hazard lights, everything like that is here. You've also got a pretty neat wireless charger, so you can just pop your phone on in there, and once that's active, that will actually recess down and it starts charging your phone, so that's quite useful to have that. You do have a cup holder, and there's also some storage in between here. There's also some more storage underneath there, and both the driver and the passenger get pretty decent sized digital displays, so they'll be able to see everything that's in front of them there. A little bit of ventilation underneath, but you see the way this kind of dual cockpit is designed, that you do have quite a bit of room as a passenger in here and pretty good outward visibility. In actual fact, the fact that you've got a very low roof line and very raked windscreen means you do actually have pretty good visibility out, and you can see the tops of the wheel arches as well when you're sitting in here. So this should be a pretty easy car to place when you're driving on the road. One thing you can't see is out the back of the car, as we've already explained, but it does have a normal mirror. You do also have this acts as a live camera feed as well, so this will always show you what's going on behind as well. Other details, well, you've got a lot of like red cross stitching, same with the red seat belts, and overall it's pretty cozy in here. It's not actually very cramped. You would think maybe sometimes these cars are very kind of tight and small and very, you know, shrink wrapped around you, but this actually feels very comfortable inside. Certainly a car that you could probably do quite a bit of distance in. Good seat, a nice bit of support, and yeah, I could definitely, if you want an electric supercar, this could be something that you might want if they decide to bring it into Europe. That hasn't been decided yet, but it's always nice to see what the other people can have. So that's our first look around this pretty spectacular looking Yangwang U9. If you want to know more about this car, or indeed any car, head over to our website. It's CompleteCar.ie. You find it linked in the description below, and it's a great resource for finding your next new car. Thanks for watching.